It's just like not that.
Thank you.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, sir.
I'm sharing. I'm like trying to refrain from asking questions. Sorry. Oh, okay.
Save me for.
I'm like. That's always the hardest part.
But that's why.
Shit. Camera A is. Camera B and 2 microphones is live. And camera C's left. We're rolling. Cameras.
Audio studio? Yes, sir.
Altevrse!
Hold on, wait.
Oh, damn. I was ready, man.
And you can join me if you want. Something that I always do before I start, just take a deep breath in, deep breath out, just shake it on out. So, real quick, 1, 2, 3. One more. Nice. Alright, next.
Hold on, I'm gonna interject a pain in the ass. Can you move that pillow just a little bit to the right?
Oh.
There's a microphone hidden, like trying to hide behind it.
Oh, this
I
one?
don't know if you can see. Yeah, try to hide it.
Oh, hide the mic.
Keep going, a little bit more, a little bit more. Oh no. Oh no. There we go, that works. Yeah. Yeah, we're good.
Also, last question. Can you see this red?
No.
Right there?
No. Actually, yes. You want it?
Does it look good? Yeah.
It adds to the accent of the red on the cheeks and the red on the microphone. But it's like subtle, like barely.
Okay, nice. Because I was thinking to switch the red with this white pillow. But that might be too much color after right there.
You
Yeah, it's
really
good,
can't
right?
see it.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, I think the red is good.
Cool. Okay.
Alright, nice. And then mix on you.
Check. Mic check.
Altevrse!
Wait, hold on.
That was not energy.
No. It wasn't even. I'm actually a little confused with what.
Season 2, episode 3.
Yeah. Alright, ready for this? It's time for money.
Altevrse! Season 2, episode 3. Heaven. 3, 2, 1. Action!
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Altevrse. My name is Heaven Shamba, I'm your host, and today we have a very special guest, Mr. Tochi Bedford, Mr. Boss Up, Mr. Man, everything in the building. How you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling good.
Sheesh. Yeah. How's the week been? Crazy?
Like every other. Yeah.
Anything, bro, we were at, just to get right into it, we were at your your release show the other week. That was crazy, bruh. That was like big vibes.
Yeah, this is one of my special releases ever. I don't know. I just feel like I finally found my sound. You know, and it's my first release event as well. It's like there's a lot of firsts.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, that's actually crazy to hear you say. Elaborate on find your sound, because you've been making music for a while, so that's interesting for me to hear you say at this
Yeah.
point.
I mean, like, I've been making music for a while, but I guess this is the first time I'm actually, putting language that I use day to day in songs and, like, referencing things that I grew up around. Like, I'm just finally learning how to put those into songs. Because, I mean, I used to make songs, and I've made songs, really cool songs. But now the songs feel more personal to me because I'm able to reference all those things.
Yeah.
Hide them in the song and make it clear.
Yeah. Huh. So what do you think it took to get there? Like, you feel like it was just practice, or like, what do you think it took to get to the point to be able to do this? How are you doing that?
Like I said, it's like practice, but just the fact that I've done it over and over again. I'm also kind of, in a way, letting myself and myself have fun when making records. Because, like, before it used to be that I don't really like writing, but yeah, I didn't really like writing songs and things like that. But now I find myself having a lot of fun when I'm recording. I'm trying to find clever ways to say what I'm trying to say in the way I would normally say it if I was talking.
Yeah. Wait, so speaking of that, do you write these days, or do you like punch in more?
I still punch in.
So you've always punched in?
Yeah.
Ah. I feel like that's a whole different art, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole...
I still feel like I'm writing when I'm punching.
No, it is right,
It's just not on paper.
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm writing when I'm punching it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it coherent, trying to make it follow whatever beat I'm trying to follow. But I just don't. I feel like when I'm putting it on paper, I do write it out sometimes if I'm in a session and I don't want to waste anyone's time.
Yeah.
But when I'm putting it down like that, it feels more, rigid. It feels more. But when I'm doing it directly into the mic, I can play or I can if I'm doing directly into the mic, I can play with things like, how I'm saying this one, how I'm saying this line, or how I'm saying that line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like
Find different flows.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's crazy. And that's so interesting because I feel like most artists that I know started off writing. So like, I guess I'm just curious, what made you go in off rip and start punching in? Because I think people develop that over time.
I did start off writing.
Oh, you started off writing?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did start off normal. I was writing. Then I think where I decided to just drop it altogether was I don't remember the year, but I was doing a session with D&D section in this place called Makojo in Lagos. And he came in and he was talking about just type writing, blah blah. I've tried punching in before. Not great results, but I've tried it. But watching him do it that day and him just talking about it was when I kind of decided, I feel like I want to try that some more.
Yeah, this is something that I can do.
Yeah.
Wow. So speaking, you just mentioned Legos, and it's so funny that we got right into it. I actually have an official first question that I want to ask you, but whenever you started talking, I was like, actually, I'm interested in that. But so you are like a creative powerhouse, you know what I'm saying? Like a sonic maestro, like the way that you're able to blend like chord, melody with instrumental. I feel like people can train to get there, but there's something about it that's God given, you know? And I feel like you have that gift. And what's interesting to me is just seeing you over time. You also, with having that gift, you carry yourself with humility, you know what I'm saying? And wisdom, this air of humility and wisdom. So I just want to know, what about your earliest context about your upbringing? Like, what do I need to understand about you to know why you are the way you are today?
Um, I feel like how I grew up is just starting to come into my music. So before, when I started making music, I was a very, I consumed a lot of like pop culture, like Western pop culture, and that's what I tried to emulate in my earlier music. Right? I still did it in a, in the way, like a very experimental Nigerian way, but it was very still heavily influenced while I was trying to find myself by general pop culture, which is cool. But then, because of the places I've grown up in, like, I grew up in Lagos. I stayed in Agege, Oba, Surrey, like I stayed in a bunch of places. I've hung around at Lekki, like all these places, and till I kind of let loose, those things weren't really coming through in the music. So it's again, the language that I used to speak to my guys at home wasn't really coming through the music till just recently. And so the way I grew up, like my family is, I won't say they all like music in different ways. Like I have a younger brother who plays the piano. We all have very different relationships with music, and the types of music we listen to. But I've also been like, for example, we've all at one point or the other in our lives been part of the choir, and things like that. So we have like very different relationships in music, but we all just enjoy music. So for a long time, I was a very deep like enjoyer of music. I just really like it. So that's how come I was a producer first for a long time, and then I was rapping as well after a while.
Wait, how did this start? Like, when was the first time you sat in front of a computer and you were like, okay, I'm making a beat right now? Or like, what did that even look? Did you even know you were making a beat? Like, how did that start?
I was in high school or finishing high school, so 2016.
2016?
Yeah.
That's when you made your first beat?
Yeah.
What?
2016.
2016? And it sounds this good, like at this point? Bro, I thought you were gonna say like 2014, 2013.
No, that's
2016 is when you made your first beat?
Yeah.
Was it summer 16?
I think around summer.
Yeah.
Because I was just finishing high school.
What the?
Yeah, and how I got into it is funny because before that, I was very much like the artist, the 3D artist.
Yeah.
In high school, I was very much that guy. Like that's what
Like
I was.
3D art, like digital 3D art?
Game design. Yeah, that's what I was doing so when I was in high school. But then I started doing some games, and I was like, oh, I wanted to put some sounds in there, and I looked around and found FL Studio. And like my uncle, I left a copy of that on my PC, and I started playing around with that to make some sound, and that's how I got into it.
What?
Yeah, that's how I got into actual producing, and then I fell in love with producing.
So we have you as a producer because you wanted to put sounds into your own video game?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, essentially.
Wait, okay, so random side note, but isn't it just crazy how life works sometimes?
Yeah.
You know?
Very, very good.
Because in 2015, you had no concept of like, you were, like you said, you were diving into pop culture and like exploring that thing, but you had no concept of I'm the creator and I'm like making a beat. And then 1 year later, you're doing it, and then all of a sudden, you're in like this whole other world, you know?
Right. I mean, at first it didn't feel like a whole other, because I didn't know a lot of other producers. So the story is kind of like, when I was younger, I was much more introverted. So I didn't, I knew about pop culture, I was consuming pop culture, but I wasn't, going to a party. I wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? So I was most of the time on my ones, and I didn't know a lot of other producers, so I would make beats and show it to like one or two people or something. Like it was till I started at that point in my life was when I actually started getting. Prior to that, when I was on the internet, I was either watching tutorials or playing games on Facebook or something. Like yeah, like prior to that point, like that was what I was doing. I was either watching blending tutorials or playing games on Facebook or hanging out on this site called Blender Artist or so I just used to that was my whole thing.
Yeah.
Then after that point, there was a period where Vine came out and I was on Vine a lot and I was like, there was a whole thing where people would ask, oh, what's the name of this whole thing of like now you can see the name of the song just by tapping the thing, wasn't there? So you need to ask, oh, what's the name of the song that's playing in the video because you like the song and you want to hear the song again. So you ask and you tell me, oh, this is Drake, and I'll go and I found Drake and like I was listening to Drake a lot. I mean I'd seen Drake but I'd not like discovered him for myself. That kind of thing. So I was discovering artists more and more over that period. Then after that I'm just like, making music and then starting to find other people. And this is when I created my first Instagram account and I started to find people. Actually, still the same Instagram account. I'm using it right now. But like, I started to find people online, making remixes of people's beats or songs and things like that. So.
Okay, so let me ask. 2016, Uncle Lee's FL Studio, you downloaded, you're playing with it, right?
Yeah.
At what point from the beginning to when are you like, wow, I'm actually good? Because there's a learning curve. Like there's a time where it's like, I'm not that good, but I'm doing it. But at what point did you look up and you stood up from your computer and you're like, I do this shit. Like I actually do this.
It wasn't until much later because when you're doing something or you're learning something, you feel like you're much better than you actually are. So pretty early on, I already thought I was the dope. But I was making 8 packs of ass for like, you know what I'm saying. So I thought I was the dope like pretty early on, but I did start to hang out amongst like other people, and then the more I got exposed to newer type of, because I used to listen to the crazy like electronic music and things like that.
Yeah.
The more I got exposed to all those things, the better the song I was making became, and then the better the beats I was making became, and I started to. When I really thought, like when I had gone, because at a point you feel like you're better than you actually are, and then you kind of humble yourself and you're learning more, then you actually get as good as you want. You start growing, and so at that point where I felt like, where I'm humbling myself and I started getting better, where I actually felt like, oh, I'm really good was when I started getting reached out to by artists that have already been in the game like 10, 15 years, very long.
That's actually, I think it's the Ryan Kruger effect. I might be wrong, but it's basically,
that's the one,
where like when you don't know anything, you just feel like dumb. But then once you see the field, it's like you drop all the way back to zero, and then it's like a slow, Now so how are these artists finding your beats though? Like, what were they singing?
I feel like until I started hopping on my own beats, people weren't really finding my production. So I did a bunch of stuff with like, I remixed this guy's song, Abstract. We did like a mixtape back then. I was still very young at the time. I did something, and then we started working together. Then then it wasn't until 2018-ish I started hopping on my own beats and doing stuff. And, when I released the song, there was a song called Los Angeles back then that I released. And when I released that song, I'd never been to Los Angeles, but I was writing a song about Los Angeles. So when I released that song, that's when people actually started finding my beats.
So you were hopping on your song, I'm assuming like dropping them on SoundCloud type beat or like
SoundCloud, Spotify.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. So from then, how did we go from now Toshi's at least making songs to now working with like artists like Santi or Quincy? Like, what was the transition to that? Was that from people reaching out to you?
So I know with Santi it was more like I had tagged him on a beat like maybe a year prior. Then he just reached out to me on a random because I sent beats to somebody that was in the same room as him. I didn't yeah, and then he reached out to me like the next day or something. Yeah. He reached out to me the next day or something and sent me the beat. I tagged him on a year ago, so like he was sending this. Then I think because him and Urgency work close together, Urgency like hit me up one random day. I was just randomly just talking. And in fact I started even though Santi hit me up first, I was working with DC earlier. Like his and I were just like kind of talking and I would send some stuff. But I was working with Urgency like earlier than actually working with Santi. Like I was sending stuff to Santi, but like songs didn't start coming out. Or like didn't start recording on it.
And at this point, when they're hopping on your instrumental, where are they in their career? Are they like buzzing or they have their thing going on? Like
they're buzzing, they're buzzing. Like,
yeah.
they have like Santi had just released his album. He just released his album. No, Santi had released an album as well as Urgency had released his first album, Real Rare. These are like big albums in Nigeria, like the system. And the funny thing is, I've been hearing their songs. So they had released that before we actually met. So they released all that. But Santi had released many bodies of work like prior to that. Like I'm talking in before I even thought about it. Yeah. And then a bit shorter than that, but still longer than way longer than I started. So they were well known for it. Yeah.
So when this is happening, right? These are happening, it's happening. Are you understanding? Like, are you able to process the fact that you're on like the cutting edge of something very legendary? Because like that whole sound, like the whole alter sound, that whole wave, like everything that's happening, like even right now, I would say that stuff is like the most exciting thing from my perspective. And like you being there, are you realizing that, man, this is like some legendary stuff that I'm a part of, but you're just like, this is like I'm studying these.
I didn't really clock that till recently. Like, for example, this whole thing with the I didn't realize people saw me that way, like to be as deep in the middle. Because to my understanding, the whole ultimate thing had already happened before I came. Like it was already a thing. Like you know what I'm saying. So I even recently I tweeted something like I'm still like I'm an underground artist, and then people are like actually saying, "Why? How can you call yourself underground?" Like, bro, I'm so hurt by this. Why you calling yourself underground? I'm like, well, I'm an underground artist. I don't understand. Like, but yeah, so I mean, so I didn't understand that that's how people see me. I guess because of the amount of time or because of the things I've been involved in. Yeah. But to me, as an artist, I still feel like, hey, I'm an underground artist. Like, that's just the reality. That's just what it is.
I think that goes back to what I was saying about you earlier, and I feel like that's something I feel like that's very attractive about you. It's something that I feel like draws people to you. Is you've been a part of all this, but you still hold on to this humility, you know? Because I feel like it's easy. It could be easy to be in those situations and to get an inflated ego and be like, I'm this guy, you know? But I think that hunger, it's like humility, but it's also a hunger. Like, you know, like, nah, I haven't done this
I would
yet.
say it's more hunger than hate. So I think it's not really human because I do know like I'm good at produce. Like if you put me in a session with someone random, you can come out with something special, right? Like I do know like I'm a good producer. I do know like I'm making songs that are crazy. I do know all that, but I guess what I don't feel is that like people that are not doing it on the level that I'm doing it are less than or something. So I feel like that's why people were kind of pissed off when I'm saying I'm underground because they feel like, oh, you're not doing it at the same level that these are that. I'm like, well, that doesn't mean they're less than me. Like, I feel like I can still go in with one of these guys and create something crazy. Yeah. So to me, those are still my kids. Like those are still my kids.
So if we're going from, so now you're working with Fancy DC, this thing. Take me through the Princess Gone Digital, like how you made that.
Oh.
Because that, right now that's sitting at over 30 million streams on just one platform. So across platforms, who knows what it is, can't even see.
Yeah.
But that, I feel like when I found out you produced that, I was like, what? And then I listened to it again and I heard the, Mom, you know, I was like, oh snap. Yeah, he did that. So yeah, take me through that production.
So, like 3 years before it came out or something, I'd already done stuff with Santi, done stuff with, like I've gone to like hung out with them. You know, I would say we're basically friends at this point. Yeah. Then, I know Amare was working with them a ton at the time, so she actually reached out to me to send her something, and what she did was she sent me a Zoom link so we can talk over. Yeah, we spoke over Zoom first. Like that's how we first interacted.
Yeah.
We spoke over Zoom, so she just started. Yeah, I just want like this, that, and I just want this and that, and this, that. So I'm like, you know, I'm sending her. I think I played her stuff over Zoom. But at the time, I'm telling you, I'm like absorbing pop culture, but I'm not like. I didn't still feel very exposed to a lot of things. Like I'm still just making stuff like in my own silo. So some of the stuff I was doing, she didn't really connect with it like at all at first. But she was like liking some of it, some good ideas. And you know she's a producer herself, so she's like, yeah. So she's like, didn't connect with some of them, connected with some of them. I sent her some ideas. Nothing really came out of that first call, but we kept in contact here and there. Some of my friends, even John and Jesse, who produced the record with her for her that came out on the same album with her, Cycles of Money. And that, then it wasn't until like I was in uni, I was in uni, but then in my second to last year or so, I had sent her something, the beat. I made the beat randomly. I think I even made the beat on my friend's computer or something. I made the beat on my friend's computer because my PC got broken and I just used his. Like he wasn't a producer, I just installed and I felt it. So I made it and sent it to her, and I made another idea with a friend of mine from high school, which we went to the same meeting. So I invited him to my room one Sunday, and he played guitars for me. That ended up being SBS on the album. So I made those two things. The first one I was like, yeah, this is fire. I didn't even know if she would connect to that, but I just sent it. And
wait, the first one was the Princess Gone Digital?
Yeah. And the second one was SBS. I was like, yeah, it's a cool idea. She might like this. Yeah. And I sent it to her, and she liked both of them. And she did it. So she actually reached back out to me, sent me the thing. I didn't even know it won't come out till like 2 years later. But she sent me the first draft.
When you heard that, are you like?
Yeah, I'm like, this is crazy. But after the first year, I'm like, damn, has this become a hard drive record? Like, she put it
There's
for
so
me on
many
the
of
SoundCloud.
those.
Yeah, she put it for me on the SoundCloud. And And I'm like, damn, I just become a hard drive record or something. But yeah, I was just like, it is what it is. Moving more or something. So she sent that back to me on the SoundCloud game. Nothing it. And then one day she calls me and tells me, can I send her the stems? So I sent her the stems. So when she says, send me the stems, I'm like, oh,
This is
coming
real.
up. Yeah, this is coming up.
Yes.
So I sent her the stems. And then she's like, that's it. One sim is missing or something. So what happened is, I had because I moved computers or something, I lost like the main sync. Yeah, so we basically had to sit down with her on call, with her as an engineer in the studio or something, and just like kind of recreate the thing from scratch. Yeah.
Wow.
That was the whole thing. Yeah, that was the whole thing. But
So you had to make that beat again.
no, not the beat.
Oh,
just
the synth.
Just the synth.
I
Because
see,
I
I see.
lost the plug with that.
Like when you
Like
open it
reset,
again,
yeah,
but that thing
It was
won't
reset,
play anymore.
Yeah,
I see.
and reset.
Man, that's important.
Yeah. So, but it ended up working out. And then, yeah, that was the whole thing.
Did you know that was gonna be as big as it was? Like when you heard that first draft, or are you just like, this is another fire song?
Because how I usually know when the song is good, like if I besides the fact that I produced it, I'll usually go back to it like several times. If I go back to it several times, then I already know like, oh, this one is fire. Yeah. So that was already an indicator to me. And everybody I'll play it for is like, oh, this is yeah. So and she has a special voice and